Staff Sergeant Maya Collins's knife moved with surgical precision. Dice the onions. Exactly 3 millimeters. Not 2, not 4, 3. Her hands, scarred from 1,000 kitchen cuts, but steady as stone, worked the blade with the kind of muscle memory most people reserved for breathing. The knife flashed in the fluorescent lights of the forward operating base Falcon dining facility kitchen, creating perfect cubes with mechanical consistency. 20 onions in 4 minutes. Every piece identical. Most cooks would call it obsessive. Maya confirmed kills. 47 human beings she'd watched through a scope, calculated wind and distance and elevation for, then ended with a single squeeze of her finger. Could have told them why she'd chosen the kitchen, why she'd rather be mocked than go back to that scope, why feeding people felt like penance for all the ones she'd stopped feeding forever. But she didn't. She just finished the onions, set down her knife with the same precision she'd used it with, and started on the peppers. 3 millimeter dice. Perfect cubes. Every single one. Whatever, Davis finally said, losing interest. Come on, let's get out of here. This place smells like mediocrity. They left, laughing, already posting the video to social media with captions about the lunch lady, who'd never seen real action. Maya stood alone in her kitchen, hands steady, and looked out through the reinforced windows at the Iraqi desert beyond the base perimeter. She didn't know that in 2 hours and 17 minutes, a Taliban sniper team would infiltrate those hills. She didn't know that Marines would start dying, one shot at a time. Precise, professional, deadly. She didn't know that Corporal Davis, who'd just mocked her, would be the third one hit. And she didn't know that the base would be screaming for a counter-sniper, while all their qualified marksmen were out on patrol. But most of all, she didn't know that in 2 hours and 17 minutes, she'd have to make the choice she'd been avoiding for 4 years. Stay in the kitchen where it was safe, or remember who she used to be. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Army Story so you never miss these true tales of courage. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from today? Opened her locker to grab a clean apron. Inside, pushed to the back beneath her spare uniforms, was a case. Olive drab. Military issue. Locked. She hadn't opened it in 4 years. Inside was her ghillie suit, the camouflage covering that made a sniper invisible in the field. Handcrafted, personalized, worn from 2 tours in Afghanistan. And beneath the ghillie suit, wrapped carefully in oilcloth, were the tools of her old trade. A range finder, a ballistic calculator, a wind meter, a notebook with 47 names written in careful handwriting. 47 people who died because of her. Maya closed the locker quickly, not looking at the case, and grabbed her apron. 0630 hours. Time to start breakfast prep. She was mixing pancake batter. Precise measurements, exact ratios, consistency was everything. When Captain Morrison walked into the kitchen. "Collins," he said, his tone professional but not unkind. "Got a question about tomorrow's menu?" "Yes, sir." "The supply convoy's delayed. We're low on fresh vegetables. Can you work around it?" Maya nodded. "I can substitute canned, sir. Nutrition will be roughly equivalent. The Marines won't even notice." Morrison studied her for a moment. He was one of the few officers who'd actually read her full service jacket, including the classified parts. He knew what she'd been before the kitchen. "You know," he said carefully, "if you ever wanted to transfer back to a combat role, I could make calls. Your record before the injury, it's exemplary." The rocks 1,200 meters from her target, her body completely still beneath the ghillie suit that made her look like just another piece of the Afghan mountainside. Through the scope of her M40A6, a rifle she'd named Whisper because of how quietly it ended things, she watched the compound below. Taliban commander, high-value target, responsible for 3 IED attacks that had killed 14 Marines in the past month. Intelligence said he was meeting with his cell leaders today. Maya had been in position for 11 hours. No food, no water, no movement, just patience. Targets moving to the window. Her spotter, Corporal James Park, whispered beside her. 3rd floor, east side. Maya saw him. Male, approximately 45 years old, wearing traditional Afghan clothing. The intelligence photos matched. This was him. Range, 1,187 meters. Wind, 14 miles per hour, gusting to 18 left to right. Temperature, 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Barometric pressure, 29.87. Elevation angle, 47 degrees downward. Her mind calculated automatically. Years of training and experience making adjustments that would seem like magic to anyone who hadn't lived in the scope. Her breathing slowed. Her heart rate, monitored by the watch on her wrist, dropped to 58 beats per minute. Wind's variable, Park said. Wait for it to drop. Maya waited. Patience with where their commander had just been. Let's exfil, Park said. We're good. They began the slow process of backing out of their position. In sniper work, getting out was often harder than getting in. They'd made it 50 meters when the world exploded. The IED was buried in their exfil route. Intelligence had cleared it. Someone had been wrong. Maya woke up in the medevac helicopter, ears ringing, vision blurred. A medic was working on her right hand, mangled, bloody, shrapnel embedded in the tendons. Your spotter, she tried to say. Park wears. The medic's expression told her everything. James Park, 24 years old, married with a 6-month-old daughter he'd been planning to meet for the first time on leave next month, was dead. And Maya had survived. Again. The surgery took 6 hours. 3 more surgeries followed over the next 2 months. Physical therapy for 8 months after that. You regain most functionality, the doctor said, but fine motor control will be compromised. The tremor in your right hand is likely permanent. You won't be able to meet the physical standards for Scout Sniper anymore. That's when they offered her the choice: medical discharge with full benefits or reassignment to a non-combat role. She chose the kitchen because if she couldn't be a sniper, maybe she could at least stop being a killer. FOB Falcon, Iraq. Present day. Crack. A Marine near the command post went down. Clean hit. Professional. Maya moved to the window, her mind automatically reading the battlefield the way she'd been trained. 2 shots. 2 hits. Both center mass. This wasn't spray and pray. This was a trained marksman. Her eyes swept the hills outside the perimeter. 3 possible positions. No 4. high ground, good sight lines, thermal masking from the rocks. If she were setting up a shot, that's where she'd be. 800 meters, maybe 900. The radio in the kitchen crackled to life. Captain Morrison's voice tight with stress. All available marksmen report to the command post immediately. We need a counter sniper now. Sir, both scout sniper teams are out on patrol, someone responded. Won't be back for minimum 3 hours. Then get me anyone who can shoot long distance. We've got Marines dying out here. Silence on the radio. Because everyone knew the truth. Without the sniper teams, there was no one on this base qualified for counter-sniper work. Another shot. Another Marine down. Maya stood frozen in her kitchen, knife still in her hand, watching Marines scramble for cover. Corporal Davis, the kid who'd mocked her 2 hours ago, was trying to drag Martinez to safety. He was exposed. A sitting target. The Taliban sniper would see him, would take the shot, would crack. Davis went down, a round through his leg. He screamed, dragging himself behind a Humvee, leaving a trail of blood. Maya's hands change your job, change your assignment, change everything about your life. But you couldn't change who you were. Maya Collins was a cook. But before that, and maybe always, she was a sniper. And right now, Marines needed a sniper. Maya pulled the ghillie suit from the locker. It smelled like dust and memory. She hadn't worn it in 4 years, but her hands remembered how it went on. Muscle memory was a powerful thing. Over her combat uniform, across her shoulders, the hood that covered her head and made her silhouette irregular, unrecognizable. She grabbed the rangefinder, the ballistic calculator, the wind meter, everything except the rifle, because she didn't have one anymore. They'd taken it when she'd been reassigned. But FOB Falcon had an armory. Maya walked out of her quarters in full ghillie suit, and every Marine she passed stopped and stared. "What the hell?" someone whispered. She ignored them. Walked straight to the armory. The sergeant on duty, a young kid named Chun, gaped at her. "I need a precision rifle," Maya said, her voice steady despite the chaos outside. "M40 A6 if you have it. 338 Lapua Magnum if not." Who are you? What's going on?" "Staff Sergeant Collins. And we have a sniper killing Marines. I'm going to kill him first. Now get me a rifle." Chun hesitated. "I need authorization from—" "Sergeant," Maya interrupted, her voice carrying command authority she hadn't used in years. "In the time it takes you to get authorization, 3 more Marines will die. Now get me a goddamn rifle." Something in her tone, something hard. "Collins? What the hell are you doing?" "Counter sniper, sir." "You're a cook." "I'm a scout sniper, sir. Marine Corps class 3 to 17. Graduated top of my class. 2 tours Afghanistan. 47 confirmed kills. Her voice was matter-of-fact, professional. And right now, I'm the only qualified marksman on this base. Morrison stared at her. Your file said you were medically disqualified. Hand injury. Permanent tremor. The doctors said I couldn't meet the physical standards for professional sniping, Maya corrected. They didn't say I couldn't shoot. And right now, can't meet standards is better than no one at all. Another shot echoed across the base. Another Marine screamed. Morrison made a decision. What do you need? Clear the sight lines. Get everyone behind hard cover. And give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do what? Maya's eyes were cold. Professional. The eyes of someone who'd done this 47 times before. To remember how to kill people, sir. Maya climbed to the observation tower on the north side of the base, the highest point with clear sight lines to the hills. She set up her position the way she'd done 100 times. Rifle supported, body prone, breathing controlled. Through the scope, she scanned the hillside. There, 900 meters out, a slight irregularity in the rocks. Most rifle, hands shaking again now that the moment was over. Her right hand cramped, the old injury flaring. But it had been enough. The steady moment between heartbeats had been enough. By the time Maya climbed down from the tower, half the base was waiting. Captain Morrison stood at the front, his expression complicated. Behind him, dozens of Marines watched in silence. Corporal Davis was there too, leg bandaged, leaning on crutches. His phone was in his hand, but for once he wasn't filming. Maya walked toward them in her ghillie suit, rifle slung over her shoulder, looking like she'd just stepped out of a war movie. "Staff Sergeant Collins," Morrison said formally. "Report. 2 enemy snipers neutralized, sir. 1 confirmed kill, 1 wounded and out of action. The threat is eliminated." Morrison nodded slowly. "Your hand," the doctors said. "The doctors were right, sir. I can't meet the physical standards for professional sniper duty. My hand tremors. I'm not qualified for full-time marksman work." She paused, looking at the Marines watching her. "But between heartbeats, I'm still steady enough to take a shot when it matters." Silence. Then Corporal Davis stepped forward on his crutches, his face serious. "Staff Sergeant, we didn't know. We saw you in the kitchen and we just assumed." He couldn't finish. "You assumed I was hiding," Maya said quietly. "You were right. I was." "Why?" Davis asked. "If you're that good, why weren't you out there with the sniper teams?" Came to attention and saluted. A captain, saluting an enlisted Marine. "Thank you, Staff Sergeant. You saved lives today." Maya returned the salute. "Just doing my job, sir." "Which job?" Morrison asked. "Cook or sniper?" Maya looked at the rifle, then at the dining facility where she'd spent 4 years hiding. "Both, sir. I'm both." 1 week later, Maya stood in her kitchen at 0430 hours, beginning breakfast prep. But now, when she worked the knife, Marines didn't mock her. They watched with a different kind of respect. The video Corporal Davis had filmed of her walking out in the ghillie suit of the 2 confirmed shots that saved the base had gone viral within the military community. The lunch lady, who turned out to be one of the deadliest snipers in the Marine Corps. But Maya tried to keep things normal. She still made breakfast, still did the meal prep, still served food with the same precision she'd always used. The only difference was the case in her locker was unlocked now. And once a week, she joined the sniper teams for training. "You should transfer back full-time," the sniper team leader had told her. "You're too good for the kitchen." But Maya had shaken her head. "I'm exactly good enough for the kitchen. And that's where I need to be most of the time. But when you need me," she'd looked at her rifle. "I'll be ready." It was a compromise, a balance. 48 names in the notebook now. She'd added the last one with steady hands. Taliban sniper, 891 meters. Shot taken to save Marines. Weight carried. came home alive. That's the balance of a warrior who chose peace but answered the call when it mattered most. If this story moved you, salute in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Army Story for more true military stories of valor, sacrifice, and the warriors who serve in unexpected ways. Until next time, stay strong, honor all forms of service, and remember, never underestimate the quiet ones. Semper Fidelis.